Welcome to the Visionary Chronicles, a podcast dedicated to uncovering the strategies and insights that drive innovative, disruptive businesses. Join us as we explore the mindsets, cultures, and solutions powering the next generation of industry leaders and creative trailblazers. Whether you're seeking to inject new life into your organization or spark transformative growth, the Visionary Chronicles is your guide to executable, cutting-edge business strategy. Hello and welcome to the Visionary Chronicles. Appreciate you being with me again today. As always, thank you. Thank you for your time. I know it's important and you don't have a lot of it, so I'm going to make it worthwhile today. So welcome to the Visionary Chronicles. We're going to talk about a subject that maybe you're a little burnt out on, but I just thought I would talk about a different angle with it. It's artificial intelligence. So, a lot of what's been talked about with artificial intelligence is a dichotomy. I mean, it almost seems like there's either on the side of it's going to make everything more effective, more productive, or on the other side of it, the paradox is that people are saying, well, it's going to take jobs. It's all going to be run by machines. So it's this interesting kind of what I call this paradox of how people think about artificial intelligence. But really what I found is when I've been talking to brands, talking to leaders, and we discuss artificial intelligence, I always say, what's your why? Why are you doing it? And then also, how are you going to do it? Where are you going to do it? It's the who, what, why, when, and where of artificial intelligence. And it really makes the leaders of these brands and companies that we work with at Liquid Mind really try to understand intuitively and inherently why they're doing AI and why they think it's important for them to implement it. I'm not saying it's not important to implement it, but you really need to understand why you're implementing artificial intelligence. And there's one area that I'm going to talk about today that I found is probably the most intriguing, but the one that probably has the most questions attached to it that people really don't have a clear answer on. So hopefully today I can give you some clarity on the humanity of AI. So the title of today's podcast is AI-Driven Leadership, Artificial Intelligence-Driven Leadership. How visionaries harness technology without losing humanity. So welcome back to the Visionary Chronicles podcast. Today we're going to dive into that most critical leadership challenge of our time. How do you, as a visionary leader, harness the unprecedented power of artificial intelligence while balancing, there's this teeter-totter effect of AI, and while preserving the essential human elements that make leadership meaningful? It gives you a purpose as a leader. How do you balance that? It's really the paradox that is probably the most asked question, but also the one that has the fewest answers to it. So again, I want to talk a little bit further. We'll take a deep dive into it today as much as I can within my 25, 30 minutes. So we'll see how many answers we can get to the questions that you have. And these questions, by the way, predominantly come from leaders that we've worked with in the research that I've done in my new book, The Visionary Leader, The Success Principles of the World's Most Visionary Leaders. So that book really talks also about how these visionary leaders have adapted and implemented artificial intelligence, not ones from generations past or centuries past, but certainly the current ones. This isn't just about adopting new technology. It's about fundamentally reimagining what leadership looks like in an age where machines can process information faster than any human mind is possible, yet can't replicate. And here's where the dichotomy comes in, this paradox that people have to face, yet cannot replicate the intuition, empathy, and moral compass that define truly great leaders of the past and of the current. So here's this paradox that today's visionary leaders have to navigate. I don't care if it's visionary leaders, whatever it may be. AI can analyze millions of data points, predict market trends with unbelievable pinpoint accuracy, and automate complex decision-making processes in seconds. So let's put this in fact. You're not going to be able to challenge the processing power of AI. But the most important leadership decisions, the ones that shape culture, inspire teams, and create a lasting impact, still require something that no algorithm can replicate. And this is what I talk about in my leadership sessions with Liquid Mind. They'll ask me, what's the delineation between AI and human interaction? It can't replicate human wisdom, emotional intelligence, and the ability to see possibilities that transcend pure data analysis. So it's a little bit of a dance with AI, I call it. And the visionary leaders I find who are succeeding in an AI-driven world aren't trying to compete, interestingly enough, with technology. They're learning to dance with it. That's a term that I'm going to use here in this podcast that you need to understand. When you have artificial intelligence as a tool, as a resource to make your team more productive, make your team more efficient, more effective, it's not to eliminate it, but to understand how it complements. So the complement, if you think of a dance, the partner, you're complementing one another, but you're not tripping over each other's toes, trying to dominate one another. You're working in unison with one another. And that's really what artificial intelligence is for, is to complement, make you more productive, and make you a better dancer. They understand that AI is not a replacement for human leadership. And I love, I'm going to pat myself on the back with this one. This is what I put up on the whiteboard, and it's really resonated with leaders, and I want you to understand it as well. They understand that AI is not a replacement for human leadership. It's an amplifier of human potential. I love that. So remember, the visionary leaders, as you look at your AI implementation integration with your company, your process, your product, whatever it happens to be to make you more productive, you're not trying to compete with technology. You're trying to dance with it. Think of it as a complement. Think of it as a dance partner that you complement one another to become more efficient, but you're not tripping over each other's toes. And also, probably more importantly, they understand that AI is, again, not a replacement for human leadership. It's an amplifier of human potential. I love that. So think of it this way. If traditional leadership was playing chess, as an example, AI-driven leadership is like having a grandmaster advisor by your side who can calculate every possible potential move of not only you, but who you're playing against, while you focus on the deeper strategy, the psychological elements of how you're going to succeed, and the long-term vision that determines whether you're playing the right game entirely. So think of that advisory side of it, the grandmaster advisor. He's sitting by your side, the smartest guy on the planet that just gives you answers. But he has no intellect. He can't drive your culture. He can't give a passionate speech to your team. So you're really amplifying your potential and learning to dance with artificial intelligence and complement yourself with it. And what I find is here's where leaders get it wrong. They either become so enamored with AI's capabilities that they lose touch with their human instincts, or they resist AI entirely. It's kind of a what I call is black and white. Either we have it all or we have nothing. And they don't think of it as a complementary tool. They don't think it's effective. But on the other side of it is that they over-exaggerate what AI is going to be doing internally to their company, and it scares a lot of people, which is unfortunate as well, because that's not the intent of AI. It's meant to be, again, an amplifier of human potential. And they miss these transformational opportunities that it offers as a result on both sides of it. They're both wrong in how they look at AI. So visionary leaders really find this sweet spot, I find. The ones that succeed at AI implementation. They use AI to handle the analytical lifting while doubling down on uniquely what I'll call human aspects of leadership that become even more valuable in an automated world. And really what it comes down to is if you think about all the decisions, and I'll use an example here, which is a fact. Did you know that, and I'll throw it out there and I'll pause for a second, maybe you have to think about it, but how many decisions do you think you as a human being make on a daily basis? Ready? 30,000 decisions a day. Think if you could automate the process of some of these decisions at work that allow you to be more effective on long-term strategy and processes and vision, where AI can't help. Or motivating your team, defining strategy, putting together impassioned speech for your team as to what the future looks like for your brand, company, brand, or process. So again, it's the human aspects of leaderships that become even more valuable in an automated world. So I always try to come away with some key insights here, and I think it's really valuable when you talk about artificial intelligence because people really have a lot of questions. And I find these questions on, is it going to replace humans, and how does it complement current workforce, and how do we use it, or where do we use it? You know, these are questions you as a leader, the who, what, why, when, and where have to be answered before you implement and integrate. So the key insight is this, if you could, said, as AI takes over routine decision-making and data processing, the premium on human judgment, creativity, and emotional connection skyrockets. You know what that is? That's called culture. It's called culture building through human interaction. Visionary leaders recognize that their role isn't diminishing anytime soon because of AI. They recognize that. They're not afraid of it. They recognize I'm going to be more efficient, more effective, and I'm confident in my ability to drive the human interaction culture and brand vision into the future through my team. It's evolving towards the aspects of leadership that matter most. Isn't that interesting? People think humans are going away. They think AI is taking over everything, but actually it's not. It's making you more productive, more efficient. But what it's doing, it's moving us to where the leadership matters the most and AI can't help, which is in setting direction, inspiring purpose in others, navigating ethical complexities in your brand and your company and product, and creating meaning in an increasingly complex world. Personal interactions. I don't have time. I have to do this. I have to do that. Think of the time freed up if you didn't have to do 30, 40% of the analytical work you're doing today. What would you do with your time? What's the most valuable use of your time? Number one is to make your team more effective, more efficient, and more passionate. What are things that you can do as a leader? Knowing that AI is going to take care of the grunt work, you need to take care of the priority of the company, brand, leadership team that you have as a leader. Don't tell your team you don't have time. Their excuses are going to be taken away with artificial intelligence because it is going to free up your time to do more effective things that AI cannot do. So let's talk about some key takeaways for AIs today, today's AI-driven visionary leadership. There's some key points I would like to make that hopefully you can take away and apply in your leadership on a day-to-day basis with AI. Number one is embrace AI as a thinking partner, not a decision maker. It's your decision. It supplies the information. Use AI to process information. Identify patterns, generate options. But here's what I'll say. Retain your human judgment for strategic decisions that require wisdom, values, and long-term vision. The AI is never going to replace that side of human interaction. So embrace AI as a thinking partner, not a decision maker. Number 2 is really double down now that you have time on emotional intelligence. As AI handles analytical tasks, your ability to read emotions, build trust, manage conflict, and inspire others to aspire to be greater becomes most valuable differentiator as a leader in new companies. So double down on your emotional intelligence now that you have time to do this. As I'm sure you've all gone through, whether you're the vice president of company, president of company, whatever it happens to be, you've all been through it. I don't have time. Or you cut out of meetings, or you don't even show up at meetings. These are personal interactions with your team. And it's emotional intelligence that you need to double down on, because AI is a tool that frees your time from the remedial tasks to the important tasks. Number 3 is focus on asking questions. And if you didn't listen to last week's podcast, it was about Einstein. And I love the fact that Einstein asked questions. Even to himself, he asked questions again and again. And you're not just trying to get fast answers, but you're asking better questions. And AI really excels at answering questions, but visionary leaders excel at asking the right questions that others haven't thought to ask yet. Remember, the answer's only as good as the question. Where does the question come from? AI can't ask itself the question. It needs your intelligence to ask the right question. And the 4th point is maintain the human touch in all communications that you have. I can't emphasize this enough. I'm sure you've all seen it. Email communications back and forth, text back and forth, messaging. I get it all the time. And I can tell it's not their language. It's not their character. It's not their personality. As much as you want to affix that, hey, here's my personality, you feed it into a AI algorithm, thinking that all the communications that comes out, they're not going to recognize that it's not you. Maintain that human touch in communication. While AI can draft messages and analyze sentiment, authenticate, authentic leadership, communication requires a personal presence with people, a vulnerability, a genuine connection that humans only can provide. And then the next is use AI to what I call democratize insights, not centralize power. And a lot of this comes from visionary leaders leveraging AI to give your teams better access to information and analysis, empowering distributed decision-making rather than hoarding AI-generated advantages that we have in the world today. So making sure you're not centralizing power, but you're spreading it to make your team and company and brand more effective. And develop what I call this algorithm awareness without algorithm dependence. Okay, so what I mean by this is understand how AI systems work and their limitations, but don't let algorithm recommendations override your intuition and your experience-based judgment. It's there to provide the information, not necessarily the answer you want to implement as a company. Measure that against your culture. Measure that against your vision. Measure that against where you're going with your goals and how you're going to achieve that. Is it right for the brand? Is it right for your product pipeline? So make sure that you're aware of this. AI is an extremely effective and powerful tool if utilized correctly. And the next is champion ethical AI implementation. Use it for the right purposes. Take responsibility for ensuring AI systems align with your organization's values and consider the broader human impact of members of your team. That's a huge part of AI. You want to make sure it's ethical. What it's being provided matches your vision, your brand, your principles, your values. That's a huge part of AI and where a lot of companies and brands go wrong. So make sure that you're championing that ethical implementation as a leader of your brand. The next is you really want to make sure you're investing in human skills that AI can't replicate. Prioritizing developing creativity as an example, the design teams, critical thinking, more moral reasoning in your decision-making patterns, and interpersonal skills in yourself and your team members. So it goes from what we call about this intellectual versus the intelligence side of it. AI can give you intelligence, but it can't give you intellectual brain power. So balance those two out and start moving toward investing and letting your team know not to fear AI, but to dance with it, to empower them, to utilize it to make them more efficient, more effective as leaders of their company and a brand, and empowering them. Next is create AI human collaboration framework so they can better understand how AI works. Clear protocols of how to utilize AI versus the human judgment. So you want to make sure that you have these guardrails with AI. And the next one, which is really important when you start talking about, and I put this up on the whiteboard with the leaders of brands that I work with and that Liquid Mind works with, is that stay connected to your why. And what I mean by that is use AI to optimize your how. How do you build something? How do you do something? But never let it define your why. It's a different answer on why. Why is more human intellect, and the how is more artificial intelligence. So balance those two out. Your purpose, values, vision must remain authentically human. And the next is build learning agility around emerging technology. Stay curious about AI developments. You're going to have to stay in front of this curve. It's a fast-moving train. Literally, a week without AI interaction puts you behind the 8 ball. It's that fast. It could be a day. It could be sometimes hours. So always stay curious. Have a process in place that allows your team to better understand how to utilize AI in your business, in their processes, in their methods of how they use it. And the next is preserve space for what I call serendipity. It's relaxing and intuition. While AI optimizes for efficiency and predictability, visionary leaders really need room for unexpected connections, gut instincts that they have, and I call these happy accidents that often break through on innovations. So it's quiet time is what I'm getting at. So make sure that you get away from the noise of AI and reserve more time now that you have more free time for what I call this serendipity and intuition of this serene environment that you get away from, that you can make intuitive decisions. So hopefully this has helped you kind of at least better understand the difference between AI and how beneficial it'll be and how you dance with it as a leader and how it empowers your team. And I'll go back to the previous statement I said, it's an amplifier of human potential. So the future belongs to leaders who can seamlessly blend artificial intelligence with authentic humanity. And I say authentic humanity because you always want to be authentic no matter what you do. So those who use this technology to amplify their human capabilities rather than replacing them will succeed. But always remember, AI can help you lead more effectively, but it can't lead for you. That takes human intellect, not artificial intelligence. The vision, the courage, the empathy, and the wisdom to define visionary leadership that's still entirely beautifully human. So rest assured, humans will still be around 2,000 years from now. And I get a lot of that too. I kind of chuckle, but it's a serious question a lot of leaders have and their team members. How do we use AI? Because it is new. It's a new animal. and it's one that they don't truly understand how yet to dance with it, and how this empowers them to be better leaders and better team members, to make them more effective. So utilize it, dance with it, and understand that there's a difference between human intellect and artificial intelligence. So next time we'll explore how visionary leaders build resilient organizations that thrive in uncertainty, which is certainly the case today. And until then, embrace the technology, use AI for human intellect, and balance artificial intelligence. Dance with it, empower your people, and make it an amplifier for their human potential. But never forget that your humanity is your greatest leadership asset. So if you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to my newly released book on June 30th, The Visionary Leader, The Success Principles of the World's Greatest Visionaries. Proud to say thank you, those who supported the release of the book. It just recently hit #1 at Amazon on the business category. Thank you, thank you, thank you for those who purchased it. Most importantly, those who have reached out to me to say how they've already applied some of the principles in the book or love how the book was written. And I really meant it to be profiling 17 different visionaries through centuries, going all the way back to Socrates and Gandhi, Jesus, Steve Jobs, current visionaries like Elon Musk, Abraham Lincoln. So it profiles all these great visionaries, but what it also does too is it explains how, step by step in these principles, how to apply it to your daily life as a leader. So it's available now wherever books are sold. It's a perfect companion, by the way, for those looking to reignite their passion if they happen to be losing their passion, or lead with more clarity in a super complex world. It's a complex world, and that's why I talk about artificial intelligence. And as a thank you to the podcast listeners or anybody in general that has a curiosity with the book, it's currently available on Amazon for $1.99 on ebook. I wanted to make it accessible for everybody. And the book really is a culmination of decades of research, experiences, real life world insights into what makes leaders like Steve Jobs, Leonardo da Vinci, Elon Musk truly visionary. And here's what I'll ask as a big favor, hopefully is a little favor, is once you've read it, I'd be truly grateful if you could just take a moment to leave an honest review on Amazon. Your feedback not only helps others discover the book, it really helps future visionaries find the clarity, confidence, and courage to lead with purpose. And it helps the reach of the book. That's what's most important to me, is the reach of the book to those looking for this advice, looking for support as they grow in their journey through life and through business. So the Visionary Chronicles, where the future meets, is bold enough to shape the future. Until next time, keep innovating, keep leading, keep shaping the future. Thank you for your continued support as always, and I look forward to hearing from you. And I look forward to hearing from you about those that have read the book. Love to hear your feedback. You can reach out to me at brian@liquidmindsight.com, L-I-B-R-Y-A-N, at liquidmindsight.com, liquidmindsite.com. And be happy to answer your questions. I'd love to hear your feedback on what you think of the book and how it might be able to apply it in your day-to-day. So again, always stay true, stay authentic, be different, be great, and I look forward to the next Visionary Chronicles.